Hello, welcome back to Seeker's Tea. My name is Kate and I'm thankful to have you here for today's Pick a Card reading. We're going to be looking at what truth you need to hear about a certain person or connection in your life. It doesn't have to be a love connection. There will be love messages in all of them, but if it's another connection, you can just take out the love messages for yourself and just take what resonates. So there will be 3 piles to choose from. For pile number 1, we have the You Are Magic Tarot with this clear quartz point. For pile number 2, we have the Lost Souls Tarot with this citrine point. And then for pile number 3, we have the Gold Foil Tarot with this black obsidian point. So take whatever time you need to tune into the pile you're feeling the most drawn to. Energy check-ins are back and running, so each pile will first look at your perspective of this person and connection, and that is meant to just help you feel more confident that you picked the right pile. And if it doesn't resonate, I would just pick a different pile and just see if that energy check-in works or resonates more with your situation. There will be an extended reading for each pile, and it's going to be different just depending on what comes through and what seems most helpful for you guys to go into further in depth. So I'll have that link down below, the timestamps, the names of these decks in case you guys are interested in them, and then any other information about me. So without further ado, I will see you at your pile. Hello, pile number 1, welcome to your reading. If you chose the You Are Magic Tarot with this clear quartz point, this is going to be your reading where we're going to be looking at what truth it is time for you to hear about this person or this connection. So we are going to be starting off with an energy check-in. I do appreciate everyone that told me that you guys do appreciate them. I'll make sure I'm doing them. One of these is flipped. Okay, so Spirit, from pile number 1's perspective, what is their perspective of this person and the connection with them? Okay, the cards like keep falling out of my hands. Okay, what is pile number 1's perspective? We have the Queen of Swords. She's been coming through a lot on the channel, and so it does make sense because I feel like it's an energy around discernment and clear thinking and being able to cut through any confusion in a situation or anything that is not true. So what is pile number 1's perspective of this person, this connection? Very intelligent energy as well. Okay, the King of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, this might be someone that I feel like you're kind of seeing this person for who they are with the King of Pentacles in reverse, and we'll see what other cards come out. Let's do that before we get too far in. What is pile number 1's perspective? This connection, this person. The Knight of Wands in reverse. We have the Ace of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups. Just adjust, make sure it's straight. All right. Can we clarify the Queen of Swords, please? All right, that's too many. Can we clarify the Queen of Swords? We have the Moon. Yeah, I feel like you're uncovering some truth here. Cancer energy as well. Like cutting through illusion, cutting through what you couldn't see before, or being able to see something that you weren't able to see. Let me see though, I'll just say actually what's coming through, but it's also possible that this could be a situation where you're really trying to discern if someone is like a player or someone that is not like serious is not serious material, because of the Ace of Pentacles that can talk about a new opportunity, but usually would involve something more grounded and something that has potential for the future. And so I feel like at least you're coming from this perspective of maybe having been through past experiences where like a person, you can't really trust a person for who they say they are, or you have to kind of see deeper than that. And so I'm not sure yet whether this is someone that you've already decided that about, or whether or not you are trying to figure that out about someone, because the moon can also be an energy of having fears that are being more afraid than the situation warrants, but it can also be the opposite. So let's just get some more cards. What is pile number 1's perspective here towards this person? Okay, we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Magician. See, I feel like this is someone where you're wondering if they are trying to front like the Knight of Pentacles, because the Knight of Pentacles, clearly you want someone that is reliable, dependent, grounded, gonna actually they're gonna follow through on their actions. They're not just gonna say things, and it might be a situation that builds up slower, but it's something that will stand the test of time. But it's almost like let me just finish the spread to get more insight. I keep saying that. For pile number 1, what is their perspective? Okay, that did flip over. We have the Ace of Cups. All right, so this might be a new beginning with someone. Can we clarify the Ace of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups? All right, and then we also have the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then the Seven of Pentacles, and then we have the Emperor in reverse at the back of the deck. Aries. Okay, I feel like you're coming through in this energy of almost withholding your energy a little bit from this person. Like, I feel like it's almost like until it's like you want there to be a level of proof in a sense, or it's like before you fully invest, you want to feel more confident about the truth of this person. You want to know that you can trust them. You want to know that it is actually what you've been looking for, and that it's not another situation where, story as old as time in our modern days of, someone making a good impression and you getting excited about a new beginning and getting like very, maybe like kind of set on that person. Maybe this is something you've done in the past with the Emperor in reverse, because I feel like you're trying to take your hands off a little bit. Like, I feel like you're trying to not force anything here. And I feel like maybe you also don't want to have to be the one that, the Three of Wands in reverse. Yeah, I'm definitely seeing, it's like you don't want to have to be the one that makes the situation happen, or the one that plans everything, or the one that's like taking responsibility for the connection, and I'm just seeing with the Three of Wands in reverse, I just definitely think you've had the experience of situations seeming good and then not bringing you what you expected, not expanding in the way that you would have hoped. Yeah, and then the Sun in reverse here is like not wanting to be overly optimistic, but then also I feel like there might be an energy of having a hard time being excited about someone, just because of maybe past experiences. But you do feel like there's an opportunity here. And I also feel like with the Magician here, it may be that you're manifesting someone that is more grounded, someone who's relationship material, someone where there is that sense of love. I feel like you've learned recently maybe that like love is not enough, or like there might be a sense of emotional connection with someone, but unless there's that grounded factor, it's never going to get to the Ten of Cups, I feel like is almost what you're thinking about. Yeah, and that's also what I'm seeing with the Six of Pentacles here, is that there can be love, but there's so much more that is required in love, like the labors of love, you know, the small things that people that go into a relationship that you're really looking for, I think, in this situation. So yeah, let's see what comes through for the truth of this person. And I feel like here's the thing. If this is a situation where you've already kind of determined that this person is that way and you're just wanting confirmation, I feel like this reading will still give you that. But if this is someone new, I feel like this reading may also give you that. But there is a sense here of not knowing whether or not you're jumping to conclusions or whether or not, you know, you're letting like your past experiences impact how available you are or how invested you'll be. I just feel like you're not messing around. You're just not someone that is willing at all to tolerate any sort of BS. Okay, so what is the truth that pile number 1 is meant to hear about this person? All right, we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. We have the Star, Aquarius. We have the Knight of Cups, and then we have the Page of Pentacles in reverse on top of that. What truth is pile number 1 meant to hear? We have the World. Can you clarify the 5 of Cups, please? We have the 8 of Pentacles with the Knight of Swords. I actually am liking this energy, you guys. I am, because I feel like with the 5 of Cups in reverse coming out first, I feel like that was Spirit confirming that past experiences may be impacting the lens in which you're looking at this connection through. Yeah, but we'll get more into it in a second. So what truth is it important for pile number 1 to hear about this person? We have the Empress in reverse. We have the King of Cups. Love this. I really am getting a good vibe, you guys. Can we clarify the World? We have the 3 of Wands. Okay, love that. And then we have the Queen of Swords in reverse at the back of the deck. Okay. This is funny because I totally see your guys' perspective. I just want you to know that. But I feel like this person is really meant to renew your faith in love. And Spirit wants you to know this is someone who 100% wants to put the work in with the 8 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. This is someone who has certainty about you. This is someone who does feel certain about their feelings for you with the King of Cups and the Knight of Cups. I also feel like there's this message just coming through with this Knight of Cups and then the Page of Pentacles in reverse on top. I feel like it's possible that if people are kind of like mushy with you or like sappy, not like sappy, but like maybe are showing or showing actions in regards. Sorry, let me put this into words. It's almost like if someone's showing you affection or expressing their feelings to you, you may automatically almost see that through the lens of it being suspicious or it being something where it's like someone's trying to promise you a bunch, but like they aren't actually trying to follow through on it. So you guys may have experienced love bombing in the past. You may have experienced people who seemed like, you may have been like experiencing Knight of Cups in reverse energy where someone really is using romance and charm to kind of get what they want. But this is not the case with this person. And you're meant to hear that. You're meant to hear with the World and the 3 of Wands. That's like so beautiful because it's such a beautiful confirmation that this is a connection that can go somewhere where you can have success with them and it is leading to something. This person, yes, they might express like love and that might make you a little suspicious or uncomfortable, but this is like with the King of Cups here, this is someone that is actually very like deeply sensitive and emotionally intelligent and emotionally they're not emotionally manipulative. That's the best thing I could say. And I feel like if they say they feel a certain way about you, they really do. And if they say they see a future with you, they really do. If they talk about what future they want with you, they want that to happen. They want that, they want that to happen. And they will do everything in their power to make that happen. I feel like with the star here, this is really about, I feel like, rebuilding your sense of like faith and hope, in being treated the right way. And I feel like with the Empress in reverse, Spirit wants you to hear that the main thing that would get in the way of this connection would be not recognizing that you deserve to be treated in this way. And so it's almost like situations from the past where you were made to feel unworthy, or you just like were not treated with your value, or it's like you're not used to receiving, is what I would say. Receiving might feel uncomfortable for you. And that's what Spirit wants you to understand. Like, that's the main thing that's happening here. And this isn't meant to invalidate like what you've been through, because trust me, I 100% believe that there's a reason why it's hard to receive in this world, or it's hard to trust that a person really wants to put the work in. But I feel like this person does with the Knight of Swords. Like, this person has a lot of clarity about what they want. And when they take action, it's like, it's fully embodied in like, they're being honest. And I feel like with the Queen of Swords in reverse here, I feel like you're meant to see maybe when the Queen of Swords energy can become too critical. And maybe it's like you're having a hard time trusting it. Look at this. We literally have the Sun and the Wheel of Fortune here. And it's like, maybe you're just kind of used to like going through negative cycles where it's just like feels like no matter what you do, you know, you're attracting like negative karmic people. But I feel like Spirit wants to remind you that the wheel always turns, and that with the Sun here, you can trust in being optimistic again. Like, be careful to not be overly cynical. Yeah, we literally, oh my gosh, I love this. So we have the Knight of Pentacles here and the Hierophant. So I just feel like there is potential for really building something that like is built on mutual values, where there is commitment. Like, this is someone who would want that. And I'm so not used to doing readings like this, but I love getting the opportunity to, because I always read the cards. And I'll tell you guys, like, I'd say especially if this is someone that hasn't actually done anything yet to prove your suspicions wrong. Like, if this is someone from your past and like they've obviously been dishonest with you, or they've not followed through, don't let this feed your delusions, because I'm not talking about someone that has already proven to be unreliable. And that's not who I'm talking about, because this energy doesn't lie. And it's like, you'll know that this is the person I'm talking about, because it's like, it's true. It's probably like one of those things where if you talk about it with a friend, it's like, yeah, and he did this, and like, you know, he treated me like that. And it's like, almost like you're like, not, it's like you're seeing it with a lot of suspicion, or it's hard for you to, I don't know, it's almost easy to put a filter on and like read something wrong, or like be like, well, I don't know if I trust that, or that seems suspicious, or like, but if you really read it with an objective lens, you may see that it sounds completely fine, or what they did is completely fine. And I feel like with the Queen of Swords in reverse, I'm almost getting this message too of when sometimes we can start to, you might think that you're being logical, but it's possible that being overly logical might be actually preventing you from seeing things clearly, or it could be cutting you off from your heart space. Because I'm kind of getting with the Queen of Swords here in reverse, you're really trying to be logical to a point where you're actually at risk of being way more head over heart. And like, I know that's a response to probably having the experience of having a very open heart, and maybe being in relationships with people that were emotionally unavailable, or, you know, were overly logical, because I'm used to reading like the King of Swords that way. But I'm hearing in this case, it's kind of like being able to check yourself when you realize that maybe it's your heart space that's a little bit closed off, that you're a little bit fearful of. And I feel like Spirit's saying like, you can have trust in this person, you can have faith, and like reminding you that you are high value and you deserve to receive, you deserve it, you know? And so I feel like when you start to be suspicious of someone else who's giving to you, sometimes I think we can get caught up in this space of like, let me put this into words. It's almost like when you go overboard with something where, let's say that you're in this energy of like, I know my value, and you're like telling yourself that, like, I know my value, I'm not going to let anyone like treat me badly like they have in the past. But then it's like you go so far in that direction that you're actually not even comfortable receiving anymore. You're not even comfortable with anyone. It's like you became too protective of yourself. And I feel like this next stage for you is healing this Empress energy, is healing your worthiness of receiving, your being open to receiving. And like, think about how the Empress is so aware of her value that it's expected for her to be treated it's expected for people to treat them well and to see their value and to want to work towards things. And I feel like this situation is where it's like you might sabotage by having a hard time seeing yourself this way. And even if we're telling ourselves like, you know, I'm like in my Empress era, or like I'm like I see my worth, you know, it's almost like at the first sign of something, it's almost like when you cut people off too quickly, or you just kind of assume the worst. And I just want to say, like, I again completely understand where you're coming from, because you don't have to tell me twice with the King of Pentacles in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. Like, that combo is like just so rough, like when it comes to relationships and maybe previous dating experiences of people just being like really having no long-term intentions or long-term stability that they can offer, that they're really just interested in something short-term and passionate, and like that's the reason why they're interested in you. But I'm seeing here like this person is very emotionally available. Like, this is someone whose heart space is actually very open. And that's where they're coming from. Like, they're coming from their heart space the most. And that might be weird because it's like, maybe you're just not used to that. But, yeah, Spirit just wants you to hear that if you want this to progress, it totally can. And the Five of Cups is all about seeing that there's two cups. And I like that it's in reverse because it's showing, especially, I don't know, it's kind of reflective here, but it's showing that with the Three of Cups, those are in the past, and we still do have the Two of Cups upright. Yeah, and this is just someone who, if they say that they are going to do something, they will do it. This is someone who is sure that they want to put the work in. This is someone who sees your value as well. But the main thing I'm getting with the Star here is learning to heal and learning to be optimistic again and having hope again that this love does exist. And this is a part of your healing journey and your healing process. It's like the universe is not trying to screw you over with this one, you know, like, and it's hard when you have to learn all these lessons, but just truly, like, this is someone who is very aware. They're aware of their emotions too. It's like when they're expressing themselves emotionally, you don't have to worry that this is someone who's like, you know, maybe they're just super like into it for the moment, or maybe they're carried away. Like, you know, like when some people get carried away, and then they don't really back up their feelings. Or it's like, let's say someone maybe acts really romantic towards you, but underneath that, you come to realize that they're super emotionally like immature, and someone that doesn't really know their heart, doesn't really know how to process feelings, you know? And so that kind of situation can end up hurting a lot because it's like they showed you a level of love through their actions, and then it's one of those things where it's like, how could they have acted that way towards me when you know, it's like, you know, they have feelings for you, but then it's like when the King of Cups is in reverse, it's like, I would explain that energy of someone being a blockage to the connection being that they don't really know how to process their emotions. They're not comfortable with their emotions. They're not in tune with them, but maybe like the connection sort of sparked it. But then it's like they got cold feet, or they weren't able to hold the emotional intensity. Not the case, you guys. Not the case with this person. See, I don't even want to. I'm going to take these cards upright just because Actually, I mean, if it wants to come out in reverse, it's going to be speaking more to probably the past, but it may be something you need to hear. And I just saw door to personal healing and happiness and the fourth chakra, the heart chakra. And so I feel like Spirit's saying that self-love here may be the thing to focus on more than monitoring this person or, you know, focusing on them and like what, you know, what they're up to or something. I feel like Spirit's saying healing this Empress energy, reminding yourself of your worth and your value, and that receiving is something that you're worthy of, I think would be a good use of your energy. All right. And letting the past go too. Okay, so for pile number 1, what are they meant to hear in regards to the person they have on their mind? Okay, we have second chakra, Archangel Ariel in reverse. And that's the correlated with the Empress energy. A divine feminine energy is through the sacral. And so I feel like it's like this also can talk about like emotional blockages as well. Yeah, we had the thinking woman in reverse. I feel like Spirit is really warning you or really telling you to maybe work on your sacral chakra. And like it also talks about being able to receive pleasure and like being able to be sensual again and being open to that. And so I feel like with the thinking woman, it's almost like your mind may be blocking your sacral chakra, your emotion. That's also where your emotions are. And so I feel like clearing out any energy there would be helpful, and not being overly logical or thinking so hard that you're not even listening to your emotions. I feel like Spirit's saying, be careful of talking yourself out of your emotions. Like if something feels good and it's like, that's also where you manifest from, where you receive from. It's literally like a representation of the Empress energy. I feel like Spirit's just saying, it really is possible that you might be blocking that energy through your thoughts. Or just through being overly logical, overthinking things, trying to think of every possible, like, overthinking, like, something that wasn't, like, looking for red flags where there aren't any. Or, you know, it's like, let's say someone says something to you that's, like, a compliment or something that's nice. It's, like, feeling good about it at first. And then before you can really, like, receive it, it's, like, what's their angle with this? Or like what, like they say that now, but do they really mean it? You know what I mean? Like, are they just saying that? What else for pile number? We have the World. And then we have envy in reverse. Hostilities in reverse here too. I feel like Spirit is saying to not be thinking of everything you want in life, like all that you deserve and want to create. I feel like Spirit's saying to let go of the idea that that's not something that's for you or something that's only for other people. And I feel like with this card, it's like looking at this golden kingdom that looks all abundant and lush. And it's like, I feel like sometimes we can cut ourselves off to what we think we deserve. And so I feel like be careful of any like biases you have mentally or any thoughts that are around the idea of not really believing that you deserve to have everything you want and more, that you deserve success with the World here. The World's coming out twice. And so it's like trusting that you really can receive that you really can overcome past disappointments, and that your past disappointments don't mean anything about what's available to you or what future you have. And I feel like opening your mind up to, opening yourself up, receptivity is like huge here. Yeah, I feel like that is an important factor to this, and releasing any beliefs that you're not good enough or this is something for other people. Let me see if there's any message with that. It says this card reversed heralds a great time of joy and appreciation. Your choice to shift your focus from future longing to present gratitude creates a significant difference in your energetic field and moves out in a dramatic and radiant way to attract more to you. You know that you can keep your eye on your future goals without losing sight of your present gifts. So continue to release any old feelings of envy or lack whenever those thoughts or emotions come up. You're well on your way to a completely gratifying life, and your unique acknowledgement of the value within and around you will only keep drawing more value to you. I let go of lack. I look at the blessings in my life with joy and satisfaction, and I am glad. And so it's also like being able to receive blessings. And I also saw appreciation in reverse, where it's almost like if we're expecting things, if we have a narrative around like lack, then when something good shows up, it might be hard to appreciate it or hard to receive it, essentially. There is a deck I want to use now. And so I feel like what truth you're meant to hear about this person is actually flipping back on yourself, which is kind of interesting. But what you do need to know about this person is that they can be trusted and that they are a blessing. All right, anything else here? So for the extended reading, I want to see what your person honestly wants you to know, or what they would say, like what they want to tell you, or if they haven't said anything. And I just want you to be able to trust it because it's coming through tarot, and energy won't lie. So I kind of want to build you up in that way. I also want to see like what vision they have for the future with you. I feel like that'll be helpful. And then I just want to get any other guidance around any other like blockages that there might be, so I can like talk you through them, and we can like work on it together a little bit with the sacral chakra blockage, and just giving you any messages you need to hear that will help change your perspective or help you release the past as well. Just anything else from your spirit team. So before we do that though, let's get some more messages for you. What does pile number 1 need to hear right now? We have can't be caught. We have what is hidden will be revealed. We have hiding, and then we have spirits to guide you. I feel like spirit's saying, so with can't be caught here, I feel like what spirit wants me to talk a little bit more about is that you are this unique, like beautiful person, like that you probably have had the experience of a lot of people trying to grab at your light or trying to limit you or hold you back from your journey. And I feel like what Spirit's saying is that this isn't someone that wants to hold you back or wants to control you or wants to block you from discovery. I feel like there might also be a message here around this part of your life, like love might be a part of it, but I feel like ultimately maybe what your soul is craving is like freedom and discovery. And I feel like with the world here, I feel like it's important to allow yourself to, sorry, it's kind of a separate message than what's going on, but I feel like there's an energy here of opening up to more new things, being more open in general, and not be worrying so much about people who might be trying to hold you back. I feel like don't let that hold you back from discovering new relationships, new experiences. With what is hidden will be revealed. I feel like Spirit's saying to not worry so much about the unknown. And I feel like maybe a part of what makes things harder for you is that like you might want like mental certainty because you want like safety in situations, which are like relatable. But Spirit's asking you to trust that you will find out. And not only that, but because of your past experiences, you're more than well equipped to handle anything, even if it was not what you wanted. I also feel like with hiding here, Spirit's saying that if you're having certain insecurities or like it may be hard for you to talk about your emotions or insecurities, I feel like Spirit's saying you can open up to this person about that, and also trust that people that aren't able to handle the more vulnerable sides of you, because I feel like it might be a situation where it's hard for you to be vulnerable. Makes sense. But I feel like Spirit's saying that you can trust, or the people in your life that are going to not accept you in a vulnerable state are not the people you need. And I also feel like with spirits to guide you here, I feel like spirit's saying that this is a divinely guided connection, and spirit wants you to embrace it wholeheartedly. Yeah, we have pink bubble fairy here too. Yeah, I'm just cleaning up and I just want to insert this before I end the reading. But another message that came through, especially with that can't be caught energy, and then with envy in reverse, it's possible that you've maybe had people in your life that have been envious of you and have kind of wanted to sabotage you with the hostilities in reverse. I feel like spirit wants you to know that hostile situations or situations where people really just want to tear you down or want to block you from being all that you can be, are on their way out in your life right now. And I feel like you've learned or closed out certain lessons on that. And so I feel like maybe you, though, been conditioned to almost be afraid to trust in people or trust in experiences. But Spirit's asking you to not allow that to limit what's possible for you, just because there have been people. It's almost like don't make yourself small because of experiences of people that didn't want you to be all that you can be as well. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in. Yeah, so I'm going to take it into the extended now. So if you want to join me, I'll have it linked down below. But other than that, if you guys found this reading helpful, I would appreciate if you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. It really means a lot. And if you want to see future pick a card readings, I would love for you to subscribe. Other than that, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Lost Soul Tarot with this citrine point, then this is going to be a reading where we're going to be looking at what truth is important for you to hear about a specific person or connection in your life that you want to get more clarity on. So we will be starting off with an energy check-in to see what your perspective is of this person and this connection, and that should ideally resonate for the most part. And if it doesn't, you might want to check out another pile, listen to the energy check-in before you take on the messages of this reading. So Spirit, please take me into the energy of pile number 2 and the connection that they have on their mind. What is their current perspective of this person and this connection? We have the 6 of Swords in reverse. We have the 10 of Wands. Okay, so already I can tell that this is a connection that the word baggage just comes through very strongly, just with the 6 of Swords in reverse and the 10 of Wands, where I feel like this may be something that you're kind of carrying with you that you feel is weighing you down, or it's hard for you to move on from or get like a fresh, like a clean break from this person. I feel like it's something you can't fully move on from at this time. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. What is pile number 2's perspective? Okay, we have the Devil. So I feel like you feel a little bit bound to this connection. We have Capricorn energy with that. And with the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, it might be frustrating because something may have fallen through in this connection, or it may feel like there isn't really like a future here. And you may feel like this isn't good for you in the long term, but you feel like there's like a slight, like not addiction, but there is a little bit of a pull to this person that's hard to shake, even though logically you feel like there isn't a solid opportunity here, that there isn't something that you can really grow into something. And with the 10 of Wands, it's like a lot of burden for something that isn't going to really blossom or develop in a constructive way. I feel like you've already gotten enough information that it's like there's already water under the bridge in this, or it's like no matter what, it's hard to shake this person, but it's also impossible to move it forward is how it feels. So you're just kind of stuck in a difficult position with this person. Can we clarify the Six of Swords? We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, and it's like you really feel like this isn't a connection that, I don't feel like you feel that this is a connection that treats you well, or you don't feel like there's a lot of room to really build something with this person. What else for pile number? We have the Eight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, it's like there's definitely a theme here of feeling a little bit entrapped in this situation, and it's weighing you down, and I feel like you want to break out of it, but it might be hard for you. It's like something about this person keeps you stuck. Feeling stuck is a feeling here as well. What else for pile number 2? Okay, we have the Page of Cups with the Queen of Cups. Yeah, and so it may be that maybe you've given this person a lot of chances, or it's like you may have accepted, I want to say like bad behavior. I feel like you've been very compassionate with this person. Let's just finish out the spread though. From pile number 2's perspective, what is pile number 2's perspective of this person's connection? We have the Star in reverse, and then the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, I feel like maybe there's a part of you that has like sort of a, here's what's coming through, and what is making this interesting is that I feel like there's a self-awareness that you have to needing to break away from this connection. But at the same time, it's almost like you're aware of maybe where you're a little bit like Delulu in a sense. So you're not full on Delulu because there's an awareness of it. And I feel like with the Star in reverse, that could be representing an unrealistic hope of what can happen in this connection, or maybe healing, or maybe hoping for even like an apology from this person. Like maybe there's a part of you that is almost feeling like you're holding out for something that's going to mend this connection, especially like maybe from this person, like kind of that feeling of holding on because maybe there's this feeling of hope that there might be an opening of the door, like emotionally. Like I feel like maybe you feel like that would free you from the situation, but it's almost like maybe because you haven't gotten this just feels like a situation where you deserve more, you deserve better, and there's a hope that this person will step up to the plate, or at least give you some sort of recognition for your emotions and like some sort of emotional validation from them. But it's kind of one of those things where their lack of action is the closure, or sometimes it's harder to face the truth of something. And this is coming from your energy though. So you guys are aware. Like that's the biggest thing I could say is you guys are aware, but still feel stuck. There's a part of you that feels like this connection isn't moving with the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah. It's like, it's not changing. Okay. Yeah, literally. So we have the Three of Wands in reverse, Death in reverse, Queen of Pentacles in reverse, the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Three of Wands talks about a situation that is not bringing you what you wanted. Like it isn't changing. There's no transformation in this connection. So it feels like stagnant. It's just like there's this stagnant energy to this where you're still invested and you still feel attached, but you're not getting any security from this person. Like they're not acting, and they may not even be taking action toward you. And it's almost like you are stuck from being able to move forward, but there's a part of you that knows like this isn't working. Like the same thing can't just keep occurring. And, so there's just there's a level of self-awareness here, awareness of it, but yet still feeling burdened by this. And frustrated. So it's definitely a tough situation here. So let's now see. So Spirit, please tune me into pile number 2, Spirit team. What do they most want? Pile number 2, what truth do they need to hear about this person? We have the World. We have the 4 of Cups. We have the Devil, Capricorn. We have the Ace of Wands. We have the 9 of Cups. Okay, let me just make sure. Okay, we're good. Can we clarify the World, please? We have the 2 of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the 4 of Cups? We have the Tower. Can we clarify the Devil? 6 of Wands in reverse. Can we clarify the Ace of Wands in reverse? The 9 of Cups. Okay, the 2 of Swords. 7 of Cups here at the back of the deck. Okay. I do need some water. Then we'll get in. So, yeah, I definitely feel for you guys. I just first want to say that. I just want to be honest with you that I feel like this person intentionally keeps this tower going by not giving you closure. Like there's an energy here of this this person almost doing that by design, where it's like this person is not giving you closure on the fact that either this isn't what they want, like they're not saying anything solid like that, but then they're also not giving you confirmation of some sort of future potential. And so the World is all about a cycle ending. And I think that's what's so frustrating about this, is that this person definitely keeps you stuck in a cycle of being dissatisfied. It's like you're not satisfied in this, but if they don't give you closure, then they're able to keep you attached to them. And so there's almost this feeling of this unfairness, that's where this person is almost weaponizing uncertainty with the 2 of Swords here and the 7 of Cups. There's a feeling of that, of weaponizing uncertainty. So you don't know if it's over. This person keeps their intentions a mystery to you. And the thing about the 7 of Cups is that, I'm frustrated about this, but in the usual picture for the 7 of Cups, it's like each cup has a different item inside of it. And the whole thing about it is that you don't really know what something is. You don't really know if your illusion of it is what it is or if it's not. And so it really does talk about illusions. And so I feel like this is someone who keeps you in this state of illusion of not knowing what to do next. It's almost like with the 9 of Cups here, you don't know if the spark is gone. Like you don't know if it's really frustrating. And I feel frustrated reading this energy because you aren't sure if the flame has burnt out or not. But the truth is that you are feeling very unsatisfied in this connection. And I feel like the truth you need to hear is that this connection 100% is this tower. Like but this person's almost delaying even giving you that, even giving you this tower moment. Because if this tower could at least fall and you could know for sure that this is not going to lead to what you want with the Nine of Cups and the World, it's like, if you could just know that, then you could accept the end of this and then you could move towards other options. But I feel like this person is almost keeping you in this state where you're not open to anything else either, though. And so it's almost keeping you attached to them and not open to other options. And this is, so I feel like Spirit wants you to know that this is very unfair, like what the connection, and whether or not it's intentional from this person, which is something I'm willing to explore in the extended and just see like if this person is intentionally keeping you in this state. Either way, this is the situation. It is the situation that this person is not giving you confidence in one way or the other. It's almost like you're in this perpetual state of like self-doubt and not being sure what to do. And so then you stay longer in the situation. But yeah, just with the tower here, Spirit's saying, this is a tower. This is something that's not built on solid ground. Like whatever this person has you attached with, or whatever dream or idea of like what you're hoping this could be, which with the World here would be like success. I just feel like with the Two of Cups though in reverse, you're meant to hear that this is not someone who is coming from a place of genuine connection. Like they're just not. And I feel like you would see that if you could see the truth, if they just be willing to show you that. But instead, I feel like with the Queen of Wands here, it's like keeping you in this state of like not having confidence. And I feel like this connection may have done a number on your confidence, especially with the Six of Wands in reverse and the Queen of Wands. It's like it's kind of giving, not that this person's negging you specifically, but it's like that where it is actually kind of negging in a way, even if it's like covert negging is what I want to call this. I've never heard that before, but that's what I'm picking up on. And so if you guys don't know what negging is, it's like when a guy, or typically a guy, maybe a person, girls could do this too, they feel like someone is like out of their league in a sense. And so they can say something like that insults them or creates insecurity. They do something that creates insecurity in you. And so then you're in this perpetual state of trying to gain their approval, because they don't really feel that the person who's doing the negging is actually insecure themselves, and they actually see you as above them, or they actually feel like they're not enough for you. And so they feel like the way to get the connection with you is not going about it in an upright fashion. It's like creating insecurity in that person, so then they feel like they need something from the other person. And so I feel like that's what this person is doing to you. Even if they haven't said anything negative, it's like just creating this level of uncertainty within you is creating this like attachment to their approval. Like it's like creating a deficit in you where you feel like in order to feel like free, you need something from them, you know? And so that's what's keeping you tied to the situation. And even though you're not happy in the situation, like that's another aspect of this where it's like, yeah, just with the Four of Cups, I just don't think you're even actually happy here. I just want to clarify the Two of Cups. Can we clarify the Two of Cups in reverse? We have the Chariot with Cancer energy. I feel like okay, so I'm just thinking about how with the the Two of Cups upright and just it being a 2 really talks about balance. And I'm just thinking about how with the Two Cups in reverse, it's like this is clearly a situation that is imbalanced, but it's like somehow you're being encouraged to keep pushing it or to keep chasing it. And so I feel like this is someone who almost tries, like wants to be chased. And I feel like they are doing that with you. I feel like they are wanting you, it's almost like they're putting you in a position to try to seek success in this connection without there being a foundation of balance even, you know? And so I'm just thinking that the truth of the situation is the Chariot in reverse, that pushing harder and further will not work in this situation because it isn't a balanced situation. Like this isn't just a situation where there's a couple like challenges and, you know, you should try to like fight to overcome them. There's like a foundational lack of balance and lack of, fairness in this connection or mutuality that is just not worth pursuing. But it's almost like something about the way this person goes about it. It's almost like you're feeling tempted to keep pushing for victory in a situation that's just not even satisfying and isn't giving you the validation that you deserve. But it's almost like because it's not giving you the validation you deserve, there's a part of you that wants to keep pushing past the challenges, but it's not like the best use of your energy. And so it's almost like this is kind of like an energy waster, is how it feels. And it's like, this is someone who I feel like is actually like at odds with you or is putting you in competition. Yeah. Can we clarify the Four of Cups, please? Yeah, we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Can we clarify the Tower? Read the King of Swords. Yeah, and so I feel like what you need to hear is that this person is being like a player. Like this is a player kind of an energy where they're not giving you what you want. There's like a tactic here that this person has of being emotionally ambiguous with you, where you're never really satisfied, but you're also not in the Five of Cups energy yet. It's like they're keeping you in this Four of Cups where it's like a holding pattern. And I feel like with the King of Swords, this person doesn't give you, like if they were to be completely honest with you, I feel like you would be able to move on from this connection. Yeah, like we have Justice here. I feel like you would be able to see the truth of this, but because this person, I feel like this person's playing games. Like I feel like this person is playing emotional games, where it's like they're almost rejecting you or acting disinterested in you without telling you that very clearly. Like they're not telling you it extremely clearly. So it's like you feel like you're chasing them. Can we clarify the Six of Wands in reverse? Yeah, the Eight of Cups. It's like this person's whole game really feels like keeping you stuck without you getting to really recognize that it's like they're having you invest in this emotionally to a point where you're trying to fight to get victory. It's like you're trying to fight to make this the Nine of Cups instead of recognizing that it isn't. Like it's like because you're not sure yet, because you've invested energy in this, because you have emotional investment, they're using that for you to not walk away. It's like they're keeping you in a situation that's unsatisfying for you with the Eight of Cups, through not giving you clarity, through making you feel less confident in a sense, and unsure of what you should do or unsure of what the situation even is. And so this goes back to just the fact that this person is creating a lot of confusion and a lack of clarity around what their intentions are, what they really want. So they're preventing you from recognizing that this isn't what you want. And I just don't even get this because it's just like so annoying. But it's like they're creating this false like power dynamic where they hold the answers, they hold the clarity, they're withholding the truth from you, they're withholding emotional either fulfillment or lack of fulfillment. They're just like not even giving you that. And so This is a situation where it's like you have to close off this cycle by yourself, because this person's whole tactic is not giving you clarity, not giving you closure, and that gives them a sense of power or control. And I feel like with the devil here, there is this level of control where I feel like they enjoy having control. Yeah, can we clarify the devil? It's like they're creating dependency on you. Yeah, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and I feel like this is all about like whether or not you are going to receive an opportunity here. It's like keeps you on, it keeps you attached to the idea of a commitment or like a genuine opportunity with this person, or a genuine, like a new beginning or something that's actually going to grow into something, instead of, yeah, with the Ace of Wands in reverse, it's almost like, is this over? Is it not over? Yeah, and with the King of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, it's almost like they're using the potential for there to be something. This reminds me of, there's a certain card in the Alice in Wonderland deck. I just need to read it to you because it's so spot on for what this is. So I started seeing this card in my head because it's just a really good explanation of this kind of energy. So this is from the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck, and it talks about never jam today. So promises that never come to be, empty words, not living in the now. So I'm just going to read it to you. So it says, when the White Queen makes her outrageous statement that jam is for tomorrow and for yesterday, but never for today, Alice realizes no one's ever going to get any jam. When this card comes to you, what can it mean? Well, it's likely that someone is making promises that sound like there is plenty on offer, when in fact it's extremely unlikely they will ever deliver and come through with all the wonderful things they're attracting you with. And even if it's not like they're offering, well, maybe at some point they did offer you something or make it seem like there was something, just to kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. And it's like they offer that and then they withhold it. There's a withholding energy here. So it says, you see, when this card comes, someone is claiming they can do a lot of good for you, but whether they are offering a pay raise, a good time, or a commitment, it's never to be. The promise is never delivered or enjoyed today. They exist on promises of a better future and memories of a wonderful past, but they will never make good on their promises when it most counts, and that is today. Fortunately, Alice is not attracted by the offerings of the White Queen. She literally does not want the jam, so she cannot be manipulated. And so this is a manipulation tactic. But those who do want the jam could be forever living on the hope that one day they'll get the jam. The fact is, this will never, ever happen. Listen to the person making you some rather wonderful promises, or boasting about how much they can offer others. When will they deliver? Are they always talking about the past and planning for a wonderful future, but struggling in the present? If so, it's best to be like Alice and have no desire for promises which will never be fulfilled. And so it says being like the reverse of this is being easily manipulated because you believe what people say rather than what they do, living off promises and hopes, wondering if someone will ever deliver the payoff they promised you, fantasizing about tomorrow, dreaming of yesterday. And so especially with this situation, if this is someone who connected with you and maybe built up a certain level of connection. And so it's like you're always kind of thinking back to that, like, are we ever gonna rebuild from that place? And so this person may have treated you in a certain way that got you hooked or got you interested, and then they withhold that and they withdraw it without ever telling you whether or not they're ever gonna fully continue that journey, if that makes sense, or if they're ever gonna continue to develop what they started. And I feel like with the Three of Wands in reverse, it's like there's this energy of waiting and hoping that something's going to change, or hoping that there's going to be some sort of resolution or just something. It just never comes, and it's a really painful energy. And I definitely want to, in the extended, look at why this person does this and what it says about them rather than like what it says about you. So I just want to kind of analyze this person and expose them for who they are. I also want to get you a message in regards to what you need to know about yourself. Like, I feel like you need a pep talk almost, and to see the situation for what it is, and what you're meant to recognize about yourself in the situation, how is best for you to move forward as well. The Hangman, just also here at the back of the deck, this is also an energy of just being stuck in limbo. Like, this is an energy where you're stuck in limbo, and it's just super whatever. All right, let's get some more Oracle cards. All right, so what truth does pile number... Sorry, I just feel like I need to shuffle again. What truth does... I've seen deceit come through like a bunch of times, and then with the sun here, it's like there is a deceitful energy. All right, what for pile number 2, what truth are they meant to hear about this person, this connection? We have door to value. We have 5th chakra. We have attachment. And then the 1st chakra here at the back of the deck. Yeah, and I'm not surprised to see the 3rd. Yeah, look, okay, sorry. There's just a couple messages coming through here. But I feel like with door to value, this makes a lot of sense for this to come through, because I feel like this person is almost creating a false sense of value, and almost like they're trying to make you think that they are this opportunity, that they are valuable, when I feel like what they're actually creating is just like attachment to, it's almost like you're attached to this person validating you or not validating you. Like with the 5th chakra, it's almost like you're waiting on hearing the truth from this person. You're waiting on getting some kind of message from this person about whether or not this situation is going to be valuable to you, like whether or not you are going to be able to walk into the opportunity or not. But I also feel like it's even reflecting your own value. And I feel like with the 1st chakra, it's almost like this person is creating a situation where they hold your security and your confidence. And I feel like with door to romance, it's almost like you're feeling like it's like almost like this person holds the key to your opportunities. And that's like the 4 of Cups there. And it's almost like this situation is making you not realize how many other opportunities and options you actually do have around you, because they've created an attachment here that you need to hear from them. Or it's almost like you're waiting on, is this going to happen? Is this going to, am I going to get this opportunity or not? And I just want to see if there's anything else. I want to see the reverse of this card to see what it feels like. Yeah, so it says the card reverse signifies a partial or perhaps even potentially complete closing of the door. The hope for new opportunity may be delayed or possibly even derailed. It says, don't be disheartened, however. This card reminds you not to put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your interests and your efforts and let your intuition guide you to the next open doorway. In the meantime, open your heart and your mind to other sources of value in your life. Yeah, and so I feel like what this is like putting all of your eggs in this person's basket. It's like, yeah. So I hope that makes sense, is that there's almost this feeling of having invested enough in this to a point where you feel dependent on it, or it's like there's this false reality created that you don't have all these other opportunities around you. And it's like, that's why I feel like this is so frustrating, because it's like, even though logically you know that this isn't your only option, it's almost like it feels like it is because you're attached to it, because this person's created an attachment and has created a link between your safety, like almost feeling like you need something from this person, like you need it, like in order to feel valid, in order to feel valuable. And it's like this person themselves wasn't even a valuable opportunity. And that's what I think is so like almost insidious about this, is that they're blocking off your doorways to potential success and things in your life that would actually fulfill you. And they're blocking you from seeing your own value, and you're putting too much value on this person where they may never fulfill that. Like obviously this person's doing this because they don't actually believe that they're have very much to offer, and we will again analyze this person in the extended. So, yeah, so I hopefully this was a helpful reading for you and gave you a little bit more clarity. I'll have the extended link down below, but for anyone else that if you don't want to join me, no worries. If you did find this helpful, If you're able to hit the like button, leave a comment. I would love to hear about your situation, and it's helpful to kind of hear specifically how this is manifesting in your life. So please feel free to share. And I also just enjoy connecting with you guys and hearing your guys' stories. And if you want to see future pick a card readings, I would love for you to subscribe. So other than that, thank you so much for being here, and I hope to connect with you again soon. Hello, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Black Obsidian point with this gold foil tarot, then this is going to be a reading where we're going to be looking at what truth it is time or important for you to hear about a certain connection or person that you have on your mind. So that was a breathful, but we are going to start off with an energy check-in, and that question is going to be, how are you currently perceiving this person and this connection? And that should mirror back to you your situation and help you feel more confident about whether or not this is a reading that's for you. Okay, so for pile number 3, please send me into pile number 3's perspective of this person that we are going to be looking deeper into. What is pile number 3's perspective? This is a really fun deck to shuffle, so it's hard to stop. Okay, but for pile number 3, what is their current perspective of this person connection? Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune coming out in the reverse. Okay, so these cards really slip and slide. I'm not sure if this is meant to be upright, but I'll figure it out as we put them out. We have the 7 of Pentacles, also in reverse. We have the Queen of Cups. Okay, can we clarify the Wheel of Fortune? We have Judgment. Clarify the Knight of Cups, please. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Clarify the 7 of Pentacles. We have the Tower. Can we clarify the Queen of Cups, please? The 10 of Cups in reverse and the Page of Pentacles. Wow, this is an interesting situation. So, you know what this feels like? This feels like a relationship or connection where you're like really trying to make it work, and you're trying to learn maybe from let me just say what I'm getting here. So it's like, it feels like you were building something here and you were trying to be patient with it. And then I feel like maybe something happened in the connection. And it feels like things that are like out of your control here with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse in the Tower. You know, this feels like, it almost feels like divine intervention, where you thought you were going down a certain path. And I feel like maybe you were kind of turning a blind eye, like not in a way where I feel like you were trying to, but it feels like something where the universe had to kind of like wake you up from something here. Because I feel like you were content to, if it was up to you, I feel like you would have wanted to keep putting effort into this and keep trying. But I feel like with Judgment here, like I feel like the universe was like, time's up on this situation. We're gonna need to make this more obvious for you is what I want to say. But let me clarify. What was the Tower here, Spirit? The 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Maybe you realize that this person really wasn't on the same page with you. Like maybe you thought that the both of you wanted something, or that the both of you had a certain vision in mind, but I almost feel like whatever you thought this connection was, or whatever you thought, it's like, it feels like you were just had your head down in a certain sense, where you had, it's almost like you had a certain level of faith in this connection, or faith in the future of it, and faith in this person as well. But I feel like it's kind of like a tower moment for you, realizing maybe that you aren't on the same page, or you aren't actually working together in some capacity. What can we get one more for like what that okay, there could have been a betrayal here, because I just feel like something shocking happened where you realize maybe there was like a third party, or maybe this person did something that just like there's really no going back from. Like it's almost like you were willing to put the effort in, you were willing to do this, but like something happened that was so significant. It feels like something that was so like I want to say unacceptable, that it completely like shattered what you were working for. So yeah, okay, what happened with this? It also could be, it's like the Ten of Swords in reverse can be this energy of where we're resisting a difficult ending. Like there's a real sense that you wanted to continue to work towards this. However, it seems like there were certain things going on around you that maybe you weren't really like taking into account. And I feel like maybe in hindsight, it's like, wow, there actually was a lot that I was looking past to make this work. But it just feels like something happened that was just impossible to ignore. Can we clarify the Queen of Cups here? Yeah, the Knight of Swords in reverse. I swear something happened here, some sort of quick action, or something happened. Gosh, see, I'm just so curious now. If you guys can let me know down below what happened here. But it's really calling time on this. It's like, it's with Judgment here, it's almost like waking you up to everything that maybe, it's like something happened here that was so jarring that it's causing you to rethink almost your whole entire perspective. It's like waking you up to a new timeline. It's really waking you up to, wow, I was off base. Like I was not in touch with the truth of this. And so I just feel like you were kind of jarred in that sense. And I feel like it might have to do something with like, maybe you're the kind of person who maybe has a tendency to keep working towards something. Like maybe you're very determined kind of a person. But yeah, the Ten of Cups in reverse, I just feel like very quickly it became clear that something is wrong here, something is off. And so let's just get into it. So maybe that gave you some detail at least. Sorry if it's kind of vague. I just think it might be a different situation for everyone, but hopefully that gave you some idea of whether or not this sounds like the connection. Okay. It just feels like enough started to go wrong, or something very specific happened where it's just like impossible to keep working towards it, because it's like this is literally falling apart. Like this is there's really no going back. What I'm trying to say is I don't think you're the kind of person that quickly like finds a flaw in something and then is like, well, it's like not worth working toward. Like I feel like you're someone who's able to kind of keep pushing, keep chugging along. Like you're good at putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other. But I feel like it's almost like you were too short-sighted in the situation. I feel like sometimes it can be the reverse of that, where people are way too big picture. It's almost like you were more in the smaller picture, and then suddenly the big picture like hit you like a bunch of bricks, is how it feels. Like kind of realizing that what you've been doing day to day, like it's not, you're not going in the direction you thought you were going, is what it seems like. And I feel like there's kind of an analogy trying to come through around that, where let me think. It's kind of reminding me of when, you know, when you think, like think about when you're blindfolded, or just any situation where you're so focused on something smaller that you don't realize you're not going in a straight line anymore almost. Or it's like you look up and you're like, whoa, I'm like, wait. Oh, you know what this reminds me of is like being in the ocean when, you know, you're just swimming out there, you're not really paying attention, and then you suddenly look up and you're like, whoa, I'm like way down the beach now. Like, and it's kind of one of those weird moments where it's like I didn't even realize that shift was happening, and I didn't realize the direction I was going in, because to me it felt like I was just chilling, or like just, you know, like, I hope that makes sense. But anyways, okay. So what does pile number 3 really need to hear about this person, about this connection? All right, we have the High Priestess. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have Justice in reverse. We have the Fool. Again, there's just this feeling of not really paying attention to what the conditions were. But let's see. Okay, can we clarify the High Priestess, please? We have the Nine of Wands. Okay, that's too much. Yeah, this wanted to come out though. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I feel like you got caught off guard with this. Because I feel like for whatever reason, your intuition was bypassed with the Queen of Swords in reverse here too. It's like your discernment feels like it was kind of shut off in this situation, and you may have been too confident without making sure that everything was checking, everything was you know, feeling right in a sense. But can we clarify the Justice in reverse, please? We have the King of Swords. Can we clarify the Fool? The Emperor. What happened, you guys? Emperor in reverse, and then we have the Knight of Swords. Again, so there's kind of just this energy, and now I'm starting to wonder if some of you all might have done something in this situation, because I'm picking up on two energies. I'm picking up on someone. I just feel like someone made a decision without really having a plan or a structure in place. What happened here, you guys? Because I what I'm starting to see is like, it's almost like making me imagine doing something reckless. Like I feel like something reckless happened here. That there's really no getting around, because there's almost this one responsible energy that's coming through who kind of makes sure the details are perfect. Like it's kind of was coming through as like a Virgo energy, like someone who's really paying attention to the details, very careful. There's a very careful energy coming through on one side, but then there's another side of the energy that's like completely the opposite, like someone who, it's like did something really risky is what it feels like. What happened? What happened, you guys? So we have Aries energy, yeah, and I feel like Aries in this sense, it's almost like Aries can kind of go after what it wants, like without really thinking through the repercussions. So it can be an overly impulsive kind of an energy that I'm picking up on. There's a certain card that is coming to mind for me. I might need to try to find it. One second. Okay, so what started coming through is the Oracle of the Radiant Sun card, and like the Aries placements in this started coming through. And so I feel like Justice in reverse here could be this energy of like someone not considering how their actions were going to, like someone not paying attention to the consequences of their actions is what it feels like. Someone really being reckless or careless. Yeah, so let me just read this. So, okay, so Sun Aries people have a strong psychological drive to prove themselves through direct action. Not satisfied by just talking ideas through, they're impatient to get on with doing something about them. These impulsive qualities sometimes indicate the possible errors of judgment, but this personality type even finds getting out of a jam a fulfilling challenge. Let me see. Strong will, much vitality, Interesting. So interesting, because it's like the two themes are kind of coming through in this. So it says, well, this is another aspect. So it says, when dealt in this reading, this card shows that the opinions and wishes of others do not easily sway the questioner. It indicates a strong determination to maintain his or her course in life. The card reveals that the inquirer has a clear vision of what he or she wants and knows how to achieve it. It also indicates the needs to work harder and longer than most to achieve success and the respect of others. The danger when this card appears is one of acting on impulse, sudden acts, an unexpected challenging situation, a need for quick action or defense of one's position. You guys, what happened here? I'm just like trying to get more clues to this. Let me see if there's anything else. That says, and then so like Moon in Aries is, there's a powerful need to respond emotionally and immediately to situations. They can be quite volatile and impulsive, expressing what they feel in a direct and willful manner. There can be quick flare-ups. Yeah, one could find oneself having to protect one's position. Interesting. Yeah, very interesting energy coming through. I feel like someone really did not think with their logic here. Like someone really did something crazy. Not crazy, but I just feel like someone did something without at all thinking about how that would impact like the journey, or like how that would maybe change the trajectory of maybe this connection. Yeah, what? I feel like maybe someone did something that just like really was like not very acceptable. Like they really didn't think about other people when they did it. Can we clarify Justice in reverse? Yeah, the Page of Cups in reverse. Like this could have been a very like immature, the Tower again. So I feel like someone did something to really like mess up like someone's like hard work is how it feels. It feels like someone was like really putting in day out effort into something just to have someone kind of come in and just like cause a bomb to go off. Okay, so but I just need to ask, like, I just don't exactly get what you want, not like what you want from the reading, but I want to ask, what is pile number 3 need clarity on, Spirit? The Knight of Swords in reverse. The 3 of Pentacles, like maybe like someone just doing something that was just so like ridiculous, like the World in reverse. Like I feel like Okay, I feel like someone just did something that really did not take into account other people's advice, or like I feel like someone maybe discounted someone else's advice in something or did something without asking anyone. What do they want clarity on? The Ace of Pentacles, the Empress in reverse, okay, we have the Hierophant again. Like I feel like someone did something that really went against like what someone's advice, because the Hierophant can talk about giving advice and following the law. Like, and I was even getting like maybe someone did something illegal, because that's what it's kind of seeming like, is like someone just did something not realizing that it was going to be really not okay. Like it was going to like, and the law is just coming, that doesn't usually come through my readings like super strong, but it's almost like that. Like someone did something that really did not think through the consequences, that maybe even like broke some kind of contract or broke the law, broke, if not the law, it's like it may have broken like an agreement or a commitment. It went against shared values. It really went against the shared values of maybe you and this person. Maybe there's something to do with like a situation. I'm almost imagining like imagine that you're like business partners with someone and you have so much work that you're doing to like, and it's like a startup. And so you guys have been like trying to get momentum on a business. Like you've been putting in like a ton of hard work for it. Really trying to get something off the ground, really like having a vision for what you want. And then like, you're very busy with that. And so you're kind of just doing your own task, but then meanwhile, your partner is doing something that's literally going to taint the entire company. And just in a second, they just blow everything. And it's like, why would you do that? Like, that was not the plan. Like, that was not, like, literally, what were you thinking? Is like how it feels. Yeah, Six of Swords. What does pile number 3 want to know? With this star, I have to cover. Maybe some people are wanting to know whether or not this situation can be redeemed. Like, is there any possibility of this situation moving to a better place? Or is the situation just completely, like, just done? Like, what does pile number 3 want to know? Okay, yeah, the Emperor. You guys, I mean, all signs are really pointing to, like, Temperance in reverse. Like, someone just did something super unmeasured. Someone, I feel like, took some kind of extreme action, and I feel like maybe someone is wondering if there's any coming back from it. But I just need to clarify what your role was in it, so I can understand if you are the person who did something, or if your person is the one who did something and now you're wondering, like, can I come back from that? So what were pile number 3's actions in this situation? Six of Cups in reverse. King of Swords in reverse. Eight of Swords. The Knight of Swords. Empress. Seven of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles. Moon. Okay, I feel like someone may have gotten like very fed up with waiting or being patient. Like, I'm wondering if someone here started to feel like they weren't getting enough clarity. And I feel like it's almost one of those things where I feel like someone took some kind of an action in order to instigate movement, is what I'd want to say. Or it's like that, like it's almost like someone wanted to know, wanted some answer or some decision or some, it's almost like, and if this is flipped, you can just flip it, but I feel like I'm picking up from your energy that, it's almost like not like almost like needing an answer. Like I feel like someone really needed an answer. Someone was really getting tired of waiting or getting tired of, you know, maybe investing or being patient with it. And so I almost feel like someone did something to get like an answer, is what I'd want to say. Wow. Someone wanted some clarity here. Okay, let me just see. Why was this action taken? Let me, you guys, this is just going to be a different kind of a reading because, like, this is how it's coming through. And I'm trying my best to get your guys clarity. But this might be a sort of more niche reading. Why was this action taken? What was the motivation for this sort of impulsive action? Yeah, we had the Chariot in reverse. I feel like someone was trying to force some kind of momentum. Someone was getting impatient with not knowing or impatient with the level of progress in something. And so, you know, this is kind of making me think of, I'm not going to lie, it's like almost a situation where someone was like, let's say you wanted to get like a promotion at work and you've been like putting in a lot of effort, you've been staying very patient, and you know you've been trying to, you know, hold back any like you're trying to temper yourself, and it might be a situation where it's kind of frustrating, or like you know, you really want something to happen, but you're having to be patient to figure out like if you're going to get the opportunity or if there's going to be something that happens in a situation. And then I'm almost imagining it where if someone could have just waited longer, like the outcome probably would have been a lot better. But I feel like someone really wasn't able to wait, and so they kind of push something forward in a very imbalanced manner because I feel like they wanted to get like a victory in a situation, but it ended up like being a bull in a china shop. And it's like, oh my God, it's like, I almost feel like it's in a movie where you really wanted to be on the main, like you've been following the story of like almost like an underdog is what I'd want to say. And you're seeing them make momentum, but then something just happens where they kind of fall back into old patterns, or they do something that's like destructive, and it's like there's really no way around the truth of it being that it was that person's fault. And it's like, even though you want to, like, you're rooting for that person, it's like, wow, like I mean, you really like, you've really messed this up to like no return. Like, so, you know, in that, like that when it happens in movies where it's almost like they've been making so much progress in something, and it's like it feels like everything's going right, and then something kind of triggers someone, or something happens where they act in a way that they used to, because I just want to be honest, like it's almost coming through like, let's say in a movie, someone, maybe they had a past of being a criminal or something like that. But they're actually like, but they are a very good person. It was kind of more like their circumstances, and like, it's like, you're rooting for that person to build something with their life, and like you're rooting for that person to succeed, you know, because they deserve to succeed. And you know, you feel empathy for the maybe things that they've done to kind of derail their life in the past, and so you really want to see them do well. And then it's like you're giving that person a chance and everything's going well, and then suddenly something happens and it's just like, well, you know, I can't really I can't, as much as I care and like want to see you succeed, like it's like you've crossed a boundary that's just way too much, to a point where I have no choice but to like fire you, is how it feels. And so I don't know if like you are the person who's like, and that's just like an analogy. So like if this is a relationship, make it work for your situation. But I feel like there was someone here that was building something and wanted to see something work, but then someone did something just so recklessly that it's like very difficult to, you know, as much as you want to be forgiving and you want to like not throw away everything that was being built, it's like at some point, I don't know, it's almost like, I'm just imagining like an athlete or someone like that started to have a very successful career and like they were already doing like amazing, and then they decide to take steroids or something, and it's just like you're automatically disqualified, and like why would you do that? Now you can never compete again. Like you were already good, like what you were doing was enough, and then it might have been just like that one bad logic or reasoning that just so quickly destroyed what you were doing, you know? That's how it feels. But what was the intention for this action? Someone was like triggered, like someone I feel like did something on impulse. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like someone was getting frustrated with the results, and I feel like they wanted there to be more positive change. They wanted there to be more, they wanted to push to change the circumstances, but it might have been something that wasn't even in their control though. Can we clarify? Or maybe someone thought they would get lucky if they did something. Can we clarify the Chariot? For why did this person... Okay, we have the Star here. I feel like someone took a gamble. What was the intention? Seven of Wands. I feel like someone pushed something just way too hard, and they weren't able to temper their reactions. And I also feel like it's like a situation where like true strength is really about like kindness and compassion, and like putting more force behind something isn't going to get you closer to what you want, if that makes sense. And like I feel like this person maybe wanted, like they may have had a positive intent almost, in the sense that they saw a vision or a future, or like it's because they really wanted something. But I feel like at the end of the day, it was one of those things where like, I know you may feel this way, but it's always wrong if you like do this one thing. Like, so for example, like it would be okay to be upset about something, but it would not be okay to like punch someone in the face. You know what I mean? Like, to prove your point. So yeah. Okay. What was the motivation here? Someone was way too pushy or way too, volatile. Yeah. Okay, here we go. We have Temperance in reverse. The moon, it's like someone was trying to figure something out. Like maybe it was like the appropriate thing for a person to do would be to have just like walked away. But I feel like, yeah, with the World in reverse here, it just feels like there's some sort of ending or some sort of success that something that this person wanted, or maybe that they didn't want to accept a potential lack of success in a situation. But I feel like someone wasn't able to be patient to figure out what they didn't know. Like I feel like someone did something to figure the information out, but then that very action sabotaged things. And I feel like maybe there's someone here that's like getting frustrated because it's like, should I walk away from this? Or like, is this really going to happen? Is this going to be like, is this going to be what I want it to be? And like, I feel like they maybe really needed to just like surrender things, but instead it's almost like they took something in their own hands that really shouldn't have been taken into their own hands. What was the motivation here? All right. Yeah. Okay. Six of Swords in reverse. Again, we have the Five of Wands here, the King of Wands, and then the Fool. Like, I feel like someone, it's like they created, it's almost like someone tried to argue for what they wanted, or maybe engaged in some kind of a fight, to push almost on a whim or taking a chance because they wanted to like insert their opinion or go for what they wanted in a sense. But it's like, in doing that, they just did something that just like wasn't appropriate, and wasn't really effective. Yeah. All right, let's get some oracle cards. What is the truth of this situation here, Spirit? We have movement in reverse. Wizard of Awareness. Yeah, I feel like someone didn't know when to just like pause and like accept things. We have Magic Stream, making a choice. Like I feel like someone. Can we get one more, please, for what happened here? Someone just did something that was super not in the right direction. Like, I feel like someone made a choice for someone else or tried to make a decision for someone else, or it's like just someone did something that was just super out of touch is how it feels. Okay. So I think for the extended reading, I want to do a person A, person B format so I can really like divide these energies up. And I want to look at the situation from person A's perspective, from person B's perspective. I want to look at what each person is hoping for at this point. I also want to see where each person stands, like what each person is, where they're at with the connection, if that makes sense. Like the perspective on what happened, each person's perspective on where the connection can go from here. And then I just want to get overall, like, what's the likely outcome given what's happened here? Like, from Spirit's perspective, where is this all headed in the end? And then I want to get guidance for each person as well. So before I do that, though, let me see. Is there, just for the majority of the people, because maybe there are some people here that are the one who kind of engaged in the more impulsive action, and there may be people who are on the receiving end of that and having to make a decision or figure out what they're going to do about the connection from that lens. Because I think some people are wondering if it's over, if they've ruined it, and some other people might be like trying to better understand like someone's action and like, you know, what it really means for the situation. So, okay, let me look then. What question can I ask it? For the majority of those watching, what do you want them to hear? What advice would you have for them specifically in regards to this situation? What advice would you have for the person, the people watching? We have the Chariot in reverse. We have the King of Cups. Okay, we have the Hermit in reverse, the Seven of Wands, Three of Pentacles, the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, can we clarify the Chariot? Three of Swords in reverse. Can you clarify the King of Cups? Guidance, please, from majority of the people. We have the Queen of Wands. Can we clarify the Hermit? King of Wands, reverse. Can we clarify the Seven of Wands? Queen of Swords. And then I'm seeing the Queen of Pentacles in reverse with the Ten of Pentacles. All right, I feel like someone is, okay, I feel like this, if this is you, that kind of, I feel like maybe that it is the truth that maybe some of you guys are the people who did this situation. I feel like Spirit's really encouraging emotional regulation and making sure that if you are this person that you spend time, like I feel like there's a need to take a step back with the Hermit here. Like I feel like there's a need to go inward and to really spend some time reflecting, because I feel like pushing things further in this situation is only going to make things worse. Like I feel like there's a need to understand that if you're going to act in a way that is very focused on like what you want, or I almost feel like there's almost an energy of being pushy with an idea. I feel like there's a need for a reality check of like, if you want to be like this, you may need to consider a more independent path. Like I feel like it's not to say that what you're trying to create or what you want in the situation is inherently not a good idea or something that isn't valuable, but I just almost feel like Spirit's saying that you can't expect to have the support and approval of other people if it's like there's kind of a situation. It's almost like expect the repercussions, expect people to have negative opinions about what happened and what you did, because what happened here was definitely coming from a selfish place. Like not in a way where I'm saying it in a bad way, but just in a way that's like, it's okay to have passion. It's okay to be passionate about what you want in a situation. But at the end of the day, there's a need to be accountable for that and to either play by the rules of other people. Like there's if you want their support and you know, like either play it that way, or there's a need to accept the consequences of losing support of other people, but having the freedom to fully back your own idea and maybe not be at the whim of someone else, or not be needing someone else's like endorsement almost. I don't know why it's coming through like so work like in a sense, like but there is a message here. Be careful of not being too pushy and understanding that like the perspective that someone's bringing might be just like way too niche or independent, or like it's someone's very specific vision is how it feels, and it's not going to be for everyone, you know. And so when it comes to like shared success here, like the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, like that does require taking other people into account essentially. So yeah, I feel like if it's like, I feel like maybe this is a situation that someone could have gone about something in a better way. But it's if that didn't happen, like it is what it is. And I think it's just about accepting the consequences of that and not really expecting other people to see it your way when maybe what your way did like was not respectful or was not like considerate of other people's perspectives or other people's it may have not, it almost feels like someone did something that like wasn't respectful. Like it didn't, like for example, like if you were working, like let's say someone took a chance on you and like gave you an opportunity to work in like a very high pressure field where it's very like cutthroat, very competitive, but someone kind of took a chance on you. Imagine like that kind of confidence going to your head a little bit and not realizing that your position or like your influence within that sphere is actually relying very incredibly heavily on your association with whatever company is, you know, has a really good reputation. And so it's kind of like not taking things to your head and going, well, like, I don't have the experience. Like, it's like not respecting those that have the experience. And it's like, but also maybe recognizing that maybe your ideas are really good and there is a reason why you got there, you know, from your position, but it's almost like there's a need to balance that out with respecting the organization and like what it stands for, and having realistic expectations about what influence you can have on that. I hope that makes sense. This is kind of a weird reading. I feel like I might need to get another Oracle deck to really figure this out. Keep pulling Oracle cards until we really solidify a good like sentiment of guidance here. Here's the thing is I almost feel like this is kind of a complicated situation that might involve multiple people, different personalities. It feels like there's some kind, what's odd about this is it's hard to imagine that this would just be about like a one-to-one relationship. I feel like at the very least this is a situation where there is a third party. So it's like, this could be a workplace. This could be like where there's a friend group involved, or there is marriages involved, or it just feels like there's something else that's an influence, or like something. There was some underlying structure that was influencing this. So what guidance do we have for pile number 3, please? We have Door to Spirit. We have 4th chakra in reverse. We have the Thinking Man. We have the World. Blossoming Abundance. Well, okay, like the Sun here. I feel like it's possible that someone may have done something that really disrupted the status quo. But I am seeing here that like, if you are this person that decided to do something that was kind of like out there, and like I just feel like someone's saying that there is something to this, like there is opportunity for you out there, and maybe you are wanting to broaden your world, or maybe you are wanting out of a constricting situation, and maybe you wanted sort of that situation to adjust for your vision, but I almost feel like there's a need to maybe take the situation for what it is and build in another direction, but not in a way where you're not optimistic. I feel like Spirit's saying like you're a very powerful, creative person with a lot of potential and future in front of you. But I feel like with the Door to Value in reverse, I feel like some opportunity that you wanted has been closed. Like I feel like there has been a closing of the door, but it doesn't mean that what you're trying to create isn't possible. And it's like almost like maybe what happened here was kind of needed for there to be an understanding of there being like a deeper, a deeper lack of compatibility in a certain situation, or with a certain person, or in a certain role. What advice do we have for pile number 3? We have the Thinker here. I feel like there is an energy here of being encouraged to be logical for sure right now. What guidance? We have Exchanging Gifts here in reverse. We have Between Worlds. Yeah, and it might be a situation. We have Treasure Island and Orphan. Yeah, I really do feel like someone has done something that really has isolated them, because it wasn't in alignment with a certain type of person, I guess, or like it's almost like something that just was not the status quo, or was not acceptable, happened. But I almost feel like it's maybe a sign that a certain situation, maybe you do want more power in that situation. So the Exchanging Gifts here in reverse, that can talk about situations where there's an imbalance of power, where one person has more of the resources, or is kind of trying to get another person to prove themselves, and maybe someone got very fed up with the situation and maybe acted in a way where it's like they were just done playing a certain game, or done trying to fit into a certain mold to get support in some way, and maybe someone's like thinking was restricted by a situation. And I'm wondering if it was kind of like a volcano moment here, where it was almost like the pressure was building up, and like this whole situation needed to kind of come crumbling down in order for you to be able to get to where you're trying to go. And I feel like with Between Worlds here, there's an energy of maybe being willing to see this as like a learning moment, or like an in-between situation. Like maybe you weren't expecting it to be that, but maybe it does end up being that. But I feel like you're being guided to continue to follow your spirit, Yeah, I just feel like it's possible that the reason why someone did something so impulsive may have been rooted in a reason that was pretty like authentic, but at the end of the day, it still wasn't going to fly. It still did kind of it's almost like there was a destroyer energy in the situation. Like there was a very destructive energy, but I'm wondering if that kind of needed to happen so something different could be rebuilt. But let's see. Can we clarify or what the guidance is, what messages you want to leave pile number 3 off with? We have scary mirror, predictions of growth. We have sitting on top of the world. I feel like there's this message coming through of believing that you can still grow from this, and that even though right now you might be feeling like you're not getting the recognition that you want, or like you're not in a good place yet, I feel like Spirit's saying like there is still a lot of room for growth. What else? Yeah, your dreams are closer than you think. So I feel like there's someone that is needing to maybe see that another path is good. There's also a lot coming through about intuition and following your intuition and trusting in that. Yeah, in between worlds. Yeah, okay, so everything will be okay. So there's a message here of like, yes, maybe something happened that was unfortunate, or maybe like not really great to endure. But I feel like it's because of this in between worlds. Let me I'll read it to you. So it says, this card is in honor of those who walk on the edge between two worlds. Edge walkers have a hard time functioning in the structure set out for them because part of their job is to blur the lines that hold us in form. They may feel crazy, like, how did I get here and why? When you're neither one nor the other, there can be a loss of belonging and a difficulty to feel grounded. Part of your magic is that you're not all here. Wouldn't it be easy to just fit into place and go about life with ease, like you're just floating on through? Unfortunately, that's not for you. It doesn't mean you won't find peace in your life, which can very much be a reality for you. Part of your job by having a connection to a world outside of ours is to bring wisdom. But discovering new truths isn't always easy for people to stomach. So with this knowledge, try to be gentle, even when you feel like you must crush down every falsehood in front of you. Yeah, I feel like someone really did something that was, it's like maybe it was true. And it's I totally resonate with this energy though, because I feel like it's possible that someone kind of woke up to some kind of a truth, or maybe even like an injustice, or just something that didn't sit with you the right way. And I feel like it's almost like you started to feel like the only person who was awake around a bunch of people like asleep to something. And it's almost like maybe the truth that you were bringing, yeah, and I'm seeing that you maybe like spoke a certain truth here, or took some kind of an action that was meant to expose a truth. But in doing that, it may have made you like unpopular in the situation, as it makes sense, because a lot of other people aren't ready for, they want to hold their structures together. Like they want to maintain the status quo. And so I feel like if you're kind of more of a soul that's more rebellious in that sense, I feel like it might be a better use of your time to move in your own direction rather than try to take on shifting some structure that already wants to maintain, is fighting to maintain its status quo, no matter whether it's rooted in truth or not. And so I feel like there's kind of this energy of needing to accept reality for what reality is, and that like if you don't play the rules of the game, you're not gonna get the benefits of kind of playing the rules of the game, but then you also have the freedom of not playing the rules of the game. And so I feel like if there's a situation like that where, you know, something kind of like maybe you sabotage something that was being built, there may have been good reason for that. And even if it's an uncomfortable experience for everyone involved, I think it more just reflects two people that are not on the same page, or two philosophies that don't align, two different ways of being here. There's like a clashing of energies. Yeah, very interesting reading. Very, very interesting, because it feels a little bit less romantic, but I guess it could be. Okay, yeah, I guess for the extended, I still want to see like, and if it doesn't have to be one person, I want it to be like the energy of the person who maybe did something more impulsive in the situation. I want to see how they're viewing the situation. I want to see how, what they're wanting for the situation at this point. And then I want to get guidance for each side. and then I'm gonna do the same for like maybe those that were on the receiving end of this unexpected event that may have caused a tower moment to something. It could be a relationship, a work situation, a friendship group. It just feels like there was some kind of shared ideology though, or like it's almost like there was some kind of shared structure, it feels like. Yeah, okay. And so then I just want to see like how that person or energy is currently perceiving what happened. I want to see where they want to go from here. And then I want to get guidance for that side in case you guys are resonating more with that. But yeah, hopefully this reading makes sense. It was kind of out there for me, a little bit different than what usually comes through, but I did my best with it. So that is what I have for you guys. If you are able to hit the like button, thank you so much to everyone who does that. It really does make a huge difference. So if you're able to just do it, thank you. Please leave a comment. I would also really appreciate an explanation of what was going on for this pile if you made it to this point. And then make sure you're subscribed. Don't forget, in case you want to see future pick a card readings. But other than that, I hope to connect with you again soon. And it's been an honor to read for you.